The parking lots in Kennedy Space Centers are all named after famous astronauts. When you walk into Kennedy Space Center by the main gate, it has a sign telling you admission and more information. It's $57 for a single day ticket for an adult and $47 for a child. The main ticket booths are not open. You must use the self-serve ticket area. And look at that, they look like gas pumps but rockets at the same time. That's so cool. When you walk into Kennedy, there is a photo opportunity. I don't think that they had this last time we were here, like actual photo, like photography people. But you can get a picture in front of the NASA meatball. It's actually called the meatball, believe it or not. And they also have a fountain with President Kennedy on it, as this is named after him, the Space Center. They've added some a food truck outside of Kennedy, rocket fuel, snacks, and coffee.
Just what I need. Rocket fuel.
Get you out of bed in the morning? My ticket says United Space Program badge. Did you know Kennedy Visitor Complex is entirely supported by its visitors? No tax dollars are used to fund facilities, staff, or operations. Thank you for visiting. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead and scan down there at the bottom.
It is very beautiful, like as soon as you walk into Kennedy Space Center, as they do have the rocket garden right in front of me. Oh, this is so cool to look at. These are all old rockets, old and new, I should say. The United States Astronaut Hall of Fame, presented by Boeing, Heroes and Legends. Straight ahead, it's on your left when you first walk into Kennedy. Then behind that is where the rocket garden's going to be. I'm going to walk to the rocket garden and show you guys what it looks like, because this is like my favorite thing to look at when I come to Kennedy. It's just so nice seeing all of it. And as I did say a little bit before, they did swap out some of the rockets, because there's a few of them that look different. Can you believe that in your generation, they went to the moon, and now they're trying to go to Mars in my generation?
Yeah. I hope they do. What is that?
Those are the rockets, the actual underneath of it, to propel it. Working in space 2x2. Oh, these are one of the Mercury missions, it says. The Gemini capsule as well. This one is the Juno 2 rocket. Ooh. Pioneer 4 was our first mission to the moon. The second and the last use of the Juno 2. Saturn V F1 engine. Power of the Apollo. Again, you guys can pause the video anytime if you need more time to read. This blue rocket in front of me is one of the newer ones, I believe, because I have not seen it here before. Let's see what this one is about. Oh, Delta 2. Ooh. The Delta 2 rocket says. It's cool. An industry workhorse? Oh, that's so cool. I like how they have little factoids about each of the rockets and like what missions they were used on, how big they are and all that fun stuff. The rocket above me is going to be the Saturn 18. Again, you guys can pause if you need more time to read. should mention too that there are self-guided tours available for the rocket garden here at Kennedy Space Center. It says launching March 2022 Gateway, the Deep Space Launch Complex. Interesting.
This year?
Yeah, what do you think it's going to be, Nan?
I don't know.
Launch complex. Think it's going to be like an attraction?
Could be, yeah.
Huh.
So we'll come back to see that.
Yeah, it's opening this year in a couple months.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. The Rocket Garden Cafe is closed. It says Orbit Cafe is open. This used to be a good place. They would have like fresh salads and like sandwiches and stuff like that. I wonder if they're going to reopen later on. A mural of the International Space Station. It says all of the countries that are associated with the International Space Station right in front of it, including Canada.
Of course, they're a main one. One of the supporters, right?
They built the arm for it.
Yeah. The Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield.
Built the arm.
Yeah, he lived in Milton, Ontario.
Oh!
Yeah, remember they have a little...
Oh yeah, they have a little garden.
memorial.
Yeah. They have an IMAX theater called Universe Theater. Has like documentaries about space programs and like outer space itself. Then a Milky Way ice cream shop. They also have these panels right here. If you walk over those, they power the rocket fuel right in front of us here, right there, for Mars, Earth, and Moon. If you want to do the astronaut training experience, it's going to be on the right of the bus tours. The bus tours are right in front of us, alongside the panel walker. If I walk on these, it says powering this rocket right in front of me on the screen. Space shop, world's largest, bus tours, and then the Mars Rover. Oh, this is so cool looking. Mars Rover Vehicle Navigator. Do you know what it reminds me of, Nan?
What?
From Lost in Space.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Oh, wow, I love the color blue.
I know, it's a nice blue, it matches it.
Look inside the blue.
Well, I think because Mars is like a very rocky terrain,
Yeah.
so it would make sense because it's a very fine sand.
Look at the blue.
I know.
So me? This reminds me of Star Wars. Do you know
Like on Tatooine?
Yes.
Kind of does. NASA's Orion spacecraft, a full-scale model of it. Oh, that is so cool. At the astronaut training experience, this is where you'll get your reservation for the Saturn V Apollo Center, which is on a bus.
Well, I feel about as small as an ant right now. I'm standing inside the vehicle assembly building trying to grasp how large it really is in here. It has 4 bays. Each bay has 2 large horizontal... I'm inside the LCC with Charlie Blackwell Thompson, NASA's first female launch director.
They just got off of the bus. We're going now into the Apollo Saturn V Center.
This one did not come from the Soviet Union. It came from our young president. In one inspiring moment, he changed the mission from one based in fear of the present to one of hope for the future.
But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why, 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does Rice play Texas? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
We hadn't been more than 16 minutes into space, and now we...
here it is, the Saturn V rocket. This thing is absolutely massive. Like, I can't even describe how big it is. It's just absolutely massive, you guys. Like, can you believe that this thing took us to space all those years ago? And then we are still going to space to this day. It says that this is a service module for the moon missions. Gosh, it is so cool, you guys. All this space stuff. On the Apollo Center too, they also have like the actual Apollo patches hanging up. But this is absolutely stunning, you guys. Just to see this rocket in person. It says that this one in front and above me, rather, is going to be stage 1 of the Saturn V rocket. And then we have stage 2 and 3 up ahead of me. They have a small model of the Saturn V down here as well. But the big one is right in front of me, of course. This is going to be stage 2 of the Saturn V. This whole capsule right down here. Gosh, I know I'm struggling to find some words here to describe how massive and how impressive this entire structure looks. It's hard for me to wrap like my little head around. Says that this is an access hatch for the lunar module. And if I keep going down here, I'm going to find stage 3 of the Saturn V rocket. They also have a little model here of the actual lunar base. Gosh, everything about space is very cool to me, you guys, so I'm kind of geeking out right now, and I hope you guys are too. They have a little thing right here where it says you can touch a piece of the moon. It says a little factoid about the moon, like how it was actually made and everything. Like, well, what do they think it's made out of? It's more basalt. Interesting. They also have moon rovers on display right here as well for the different Apollo missions. Little tool cart, photo skill, off-road vehicle, which I think is really cool. My favorite part of Kennedy was also looking at the little Snoopy astronaut they had. So cute.
Who has been a NASA wildlife ecologist here at KSC for nearly 35 years. Becky, what kind of wildlife can we expect to see here today?
We have lots and lots of different kinds of wildlife. We have over 400 species that occur out here on the Space Center.
We're going to be going inside the building for Space Shuttle Atlantis. This out here is actually the booster for Space Shuttle Atlantis. It is absolutely massive. Like, if you stand right next to it, you are so tiny. It is incredible. It's also a very nice photo opportunity though in front of the Space Shuttle Atlantis sign. Come.
Pick up the sign there.
Yes. That one there? The adventure has only begun. The Space Shuttle program personifies what a great people can do and provides a glimpse of the greatness that lies ahead. Michael Mitchell, Space Shuttle engineer. It is an extraordinary flying machine, the most extraordinary that man has ever built. David Baker.
The President's message said, "You go forward this morning on a daring enterprise, and you carry the hopes and prayers of all Americans with you." And astronaut John Young, the commander of the mission, replied, "That's a right fine speech. We sure appreciate it."
Here she is in all of her beauty. Atlantis, the space shuttle. She's absolutely gorgeous. I can't describe how she actually looks in person. Like, you can see all of the wear and tear on her body and everything like that. It's so cool to see in person, you guys.
I think the Discovery is a Jenny.
Space Shuttle's main engine, one of them rather. Oh my god, it's so cool to look at in person, you guys. It really is. Again, I really have no words to actually describe how I feel watching everything in Kennedy Space Center. Space is so cool. They have a model cockpit of the inside of Atlantis. It's very... probably smaller in person, but kind of roomy in this one.
Control auto.
I really like how these you can just...
Mental right.
They have a model of the Hubble Space Telescope inside of the Atlantis building as well. Oh, this is gorgeous, considering like the images that the Hubble telescope like brought back to us. Oh my goodness. Also has different factoids right here about the Hubble Space Telescope. Oh yeah, the Hubble Deep Space it was called. They had found like a bunch, like 10,000 oddly shaped galaxies all together because the outer space is constantly moving apart. But this was like kind of like a safe area in the universe, which is really cool. Some of the mission patches for Atlantis. Is it filming? This crow on top of the Orion model is going to space. Warning, please do not climb on the rocks. You are not on Mars yet.